I'm Teryn and welcome to another video of Fashion Fits Friday. In this video, I will be talking to you about how to pivot into a career in the fashion and apparel industry. In this video, I'll show you ways to transfer your resume and your talking points to be a little bit more fashion focused when it comes to interviews and applying for jobs, how to network and be in the right place at the right time. So you want to get a job in fashion. If you have work experience and now you're just trying to get into a different industry, with this one being the fashion apparel industry, think about why you want to go into fashion and apparel. Think long and hard about the reason why you wish to change industries. 1, because you should know your reason, and 2, because you'll probably get asked the question, why do you want to work in fashion, at least once in every single one of your interviews. Transferable skills are super important. You can go through LinkedIn and see that plenty of the people that work in the fashion and apparel industry probably didn't start out that way. And despite them not having a starting foundation in the fashion industry or even in education in fashion, you can see that they have pretty successful careers. Whether it's a fashion label, a styling agency, a retailer, etc., companies want to see that you can drive and produce results. I will have a video that will go more into transferable skills and kind of how to alter your language and your experience to kind of fit in and navigate more into this industry. However, people want to see that you can drive results and produce what they want to see, whatever the goal is of their company. So when it comes to transferable skills, frame the accomplishments that you achieved in your previous work in a way that will solve a problem for the company that you are working for. So if you were able to increase sales in the tech industry, show a way that you can increase sales while working in digital media. This might be basic information, but find a way to frame your accomplishments from previous jobs in a way that will apply to the company that you're applying for, and also frame in a way that you know what you're talking about, know that you're open and willing to learn about the industry, and do your research and dig into the background of the company you're looking for and also the industry as well, so you're prepared and know how to transition and pivot into this industry. Another way to branch out into the fashion industry is through connections. I personally have found a lot of connections to the fashion industry just by talking with people. I met an Uber driver before that has a strong connection to a high profile stylist, and even my dentist has connections to the industry as well. So be open to talk to people. You can also find connections through fellow alumni and maybe even people from your hometown that currently work in the fashion industry. Be open and talk to like friends. They might have a friend of a friend or a family member. Just talk to people and let people know what you want. And a lot of times that path can be almost handed to you just by having that connection. If you don't have any connections, you can also cold message people on LinkedIn in a professional and amicable way that isn't asking too much. And honestly, connections are so important to any industry in any field. A lot of the jobs I was able to get in the fashion industry came from a connection. One was from someone that did an internship from a lady that I ended up doing an internship in the future because there was already that connection. And then another one, it was a fellow alum of one of the schools I went to. They were already working at the company that I wanted to work for. So they kind of reached out to HR and let them know like, hey, this person's going to be applying, kind of keep a lookout for them. I don't like asking for help, but a lot of times you need to. This is a very competitive and fickle industry. So the more connections you have, the better. If you don't have any connections, that's not saying like you won't get a job, but it might be easier for you to have those connections. But on top of that, you still have to work hard. You still have to land your interviews. Just because you have that connection does not mean that you will get the job, but it's helpful to get your foot in the door. There are a lot of people that want to help. There's a lot of people that don't mind helping other people at all. So always remember that people want to extend their hand to lift you up or to help you in. Another way to pivot into this industry is just to be in the right place at the right time. If you want to change the industries, doing that in a large city is definitely going to be more beneficial than if you were working in a smaller city. So that's not to say that you won't be able to find a job in a smaller city. You can find something fashion or apparel related in kind of almost every city. Also, that would be a good way to get like a starting foundation into it. So if you want to, you can move on to the next level. Being in a larger city, there are going to be more options as well as more opportunities. So on top of that, being in a city like New York City or Los Angeles would be very, very helpful if you are looking to pivot in your career, because obviously those cities have plenty of fashion and apparel related jobs that go from one end to another on the spectrum. So almost anything you might choose to do, you will probably have an option to do that in that city. And it might be more competitive, however, there are more options. When I was in college, I really wanted to get an internship in New York City, and that was super hard because I wasn't a fashion student in New York City and I wasn't living in New York City. So it was really, really hard, at least for me, to get a fashion internship. But when I got there, I would apply to like some to do like on the side, and they were so easy to get. So I definitely believe that if you were to move, there are definitely more options for you. However, I do not recommend moving anywhere without having a job first. If you have a friend or family member that you can stay with for a little bit, maybe try that out for like X amount of time, but I do not recommend moving anywhere without having a solid job first. But I do think like if you were to move, you might be able to land a job quicker in a way, but I would not risk it personally. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know what you think in the comments, and also please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more videos. Thank you again.